So one of the major platforms that helped Donald Trump win the 2024 election was immigration, the idea of mass deportations.
We will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of our country, even larger than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower many years ago.
And so he picked Tom Homan as a border czar who really doesn't play around.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
And then he selected Vivek Ramaswamy in his cabinet, who also ran his platform on this.
It means we believe in the rule of law. And I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. That is why we will seal the southern border on day one.
Who, along with Elon Musk, were selected to lead DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. Now recently, some feel as though Elon and Vivek have betrayed Donald Trump and the MAGA base. And for context, the controversy that they're facing surrounds H-1B visas, which is an employer-sponsored non-immigrant classification which allows persons who are not citizens or permanent residents of the U.S. to work in a specialty occupation for up to 6 years. And specialty occupation, as the name would imply, is an occupation that requires specialized knowledge and skills, and at least a bachelor's degree in that specialty. And fields that can qualify include engineering, biological, physical, social sciences, mathematics, and business administration, among others. As well as the tech industry, whose businesses rely on the H-1B visa to bring in thousands of foreign engineers and other skilled workers each year from India, China, and other nations. And Vivek said in a lengthy post on X that the reason that top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans is not because of an innate American IQ deficit, rather culture. And if we're really serious about fixing the problem, then we have to confront the truth, which to him was that American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, since at least the 1990s. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. That a culture which celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. That a culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World or Zack and Slater over Screech in Saved by the Bell or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. That the solutions include more movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chillin', more extracurriculars and less hanging out at the mall, saying that most normal American parents look skeptically at those kind of parents, and that the normal American kids view those kind of kids with scorn. But if you grow up aspiring to normalcy, that is what you'll achieve. However, normalcy doesn't cut it in a hyper-competitive global market for technical talent, and pretending like it does will have our asses handed to us by China. Hoping that this can be our Sputnik moment, that we've awakened from slumber before and can do it again. That Trump's election hopefully marks the beginning of a new golden era in America, but only if our culture fully wakes up. A culture that once again prioritizes achievement over normalcy, excellence over mediocrity, nerdiness over conformity, hard work over laziness. That's the work we have cut out for us, rather than wallowing in victimhood or just wishing or legislating alternative hiring practices into existence. And that he's confident that we can do it. With Elon taking to X to say this: the reason I'm in America along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and fuck yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend, which really divided MAGA, with people like Emily here saying, sorry MAGA, Elon doesn't believe you can learn JavaScript. But once Trump deports all the illegals, your children can work for Vivek Ramaswamy taking care of his garden and cleaning his toilet. Then the Lincoln Project said, Elon and Vivek are saying native-born Americans are not good enough or smart enough to hire for tech companies. And Donald Trump is silent because he agrees with them. MAGA was never about America first. Bishop Talbert Swan on here saying, hey MAGA, how does it feel for Vivek Ramaswamy, the son of Indian immigrants, and Elon Musk, an immigrant, to tell y'all that you're lazy, mediocre, and cannot compete with foreigners to fill positions in the tech industry? Then even more prominent right-wingers like Steve Bannon responded,
this whole thing about, oh, we want to get all this and they're only geniuses, that's H-1B visas. That's not what it's about. It's about taking American jobs and bringing over essentially what become indentured servants at lower wages. The whole thing's a scam. This thing's a scam by the oligarchs in Silicon Valley to basically take jobs from American citizens, give them to what become indentured servants from foreign countries, and then pay them less. Simple. to let them into through the golden door.
With Laura Loomer saying, if you support removing the cap on H-1B visas, you truly hate your fellow American worker. Then you have even more crazier far rights like Nick Fuente saying, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the latest push for H-1B visas actually has nothing to do with jocks and nerds or a high school prom. It's about whether we want 500 million Indians to move here. Which I'll get to Laura Loomer and Nick Fuentes in a second, but I think that as a whole, the people who are opposed to this are missing out in the big picture. Nowhere does Elon or Vivek imply that it's because Americans aren't smart enough or aren't able to compete. In fact, Vivek explicitly says that it's not an IQ deficit that's the problem. He says it's a culture that is okay with mediocrity rather than greatness. And as a result, we won't be able to play the long game with superpowers like China, who will stop at nothing to stifle us so that we can't keep up. Now, at the same time, I do believe that there should be a balance in our culture. Some people thrive off the relaxed environments. And remember, it's the free thinkers and the free spirits who are often the innovators, the creative people, the ones who break the mold. Now, speaking of balance, I do think that there should also be a limit on H-1B visas. And Musk even clarified, saying he's referring to bringing in via legal immigration the top 0.1% of engineering talent as being essential for America to keep winning. Comparing it to the Jokics of the world to help your whole team, which is mostly Americans, win the NBA. And Alex Jones even weighed in saying Musk has always advocated for this policy. Everyone bitching that he has flip-flopped are either ignorant or lying, and that Elon Musk is a poster child for this program working. Then you have Ian Miles Chong really going to Vivek and Elon's defense, saying things like it's hard to have any serious discussion about H-1B visas when a significant percentage of the people involved in the conversation are calling for Vivek Ramaswamy to be deported for being Indian, and then gaslighting you for calling them out on it. Also saying that much of the anger being driven towards Elon Musk today is simply disappointment being projected by the R-word right, and saying they wish Elon was as unrepentantly racist like they are. And to an extent, he's right, as Nick Fuentes then said things like, you cannot question the Jews or the immigrants. Then Laura Loomer, who quoted Ian, saying, shut up, you stupid foreign plant. You live in Malaysia and you want to influence our discourse so you can get large payouts on X from Elon. You should be forced to register as a foreign agent. I hope the Malaysian Sharia police find you. Whereas even Donald Trump was supporting Vivek and Elon.
It's so sad when we lose people from Harvard, MIT, from the greatest schools and lesser schools that are phenomenal schools also. But what I want to do and what I will do is you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically as part of your diploma a green card to be able to stay in this country. And that includes junior colleges too. Anybody graduates from a college, you go in there for 2 years or 4 years. If you graduate or you get a doctorate degree from a college, you should be able to stay in this country. And you know more stories than I do, but I know of stories where people graduated from a top college or from a college, and they desperately wanted to stay here. They had a plan for a company, a concept, and they can't. They go back to India, they go back to China, they do the same basic company in those places, and they become multi-billionaires employing thousands and thousands of people, and it could have been done here.
So there you have it. I don't think that Elon and Vivek betrayed MAGA or Donald Trump. I think they've stayed consistent with the message that they've always had, which is that those who come here legally and can contribute to our society have likely earned a spot and should have incentives to stay. Now, should there be limits on these visas? Yes, of course, particularly while there's an ongoing immigration crisis. But those who create value for our workforce are likely to assimilate and ultimately benefit the United States of America. And that is what it means to be America first. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, hopefully I've earned a subscription. Here's some videos for you to watch in the meantime. Until next time, peace out.